What is it, my fellow Endarians? We are here with another video. Well, not another video, another live stream. Is it morning? Yeah, it's morning. No, it's not that. I don't know about that though. Yeah, it's definitely morning. It's like afternoon. I slept forever. Okay, so this is basically going to be a stream of EndarriaCraft for all the things you didn't get to see. I know that's a bit weird, but you know, that's just how things go. If you want to see more videos like this, there's a link to EndarriaCraft in my channel's homepage at the bottom. So, yeah, this thing is cool. If you want to see like other stuff, basically re-uploads of my old videos in Minecraft, where it's basically not just me, you should definitely go do that because it's pretty cool. Yeah. This is an unfinished tunnel, I believe. Nope. No, it's just creepy. Let's just put a creepy torch. Alright, there you go. So, yeah. Basically, just the stuff that you didn't get to see at the beginning, at least like 10 days ago. You can see them now. At least some of them. Yeah, you can see some of them now. I don't know what else to show except for this warehouse. It's a really cool warehouse that me and Uncle Pecan made. It's just basically tests out it's basically just all the different note blocks. I like this one. Well, I like it. There you go. So, I mean, you get the gist. I mean, this is a fireworks launcher, just full of different fireworks. It's pretty cool. And here's a look at the outside of it. This was like a tester for an old trampoline prototype. I think these are boats now. What are these? These supposed to be boats. Like this was our first prototype, so that we could use the Elytra. I mean, it's not that old, but that's when we first did it. I mean, the Elytra came out. Oh, these are some old stuff, like this portal. This portal's pretty old. To be honest, they also other cool ones like this. It's pretty cool. You need like 2 people to actually really see what it looks like, but it's pretty cool. This was supposed to be one of them open doors. It's basically our tester area for redstone. It's just this field right next to the cemetery and BlackRock logo. This was something questionable that we did. Now I'm saying about a year and a half ago, Spartacus Slayer, or Isaac, made this. I don't know why, but he did, and the creeper blew it up like a month later. I rebuilt some of it, and it's basically just sat here. I put a wall around it so villagers can't get to it, because we basically over here have this villager sanctuary. And these villagers are like older than like some parts of the city. Pretty crazy. Now, what none of you said in the comments is Endarria Castle. And I'm just gonna go to night because this thing looks better at night. Yeah. This thing, it originally started out as just like a hollow, not a hollow, but like a half-built cylinder, and just a broken down like rectangular prism. And this, I believe, was not here. I think we added this later on, but I love it. I'm super proud of it, and it's become something that I like to show my friends on the very, very rare occasions that they are here, because that's just how it works. So no one's watching, really? Kind of half expected people to be watching. So what I want to start is start off in actually get so annoyed by this. I need some like anti-frost walker boots. And hopefully that'll work. Like, this area is like traditionally like very cold and dark. Yeah. Hopefully that helps. Hopefully it helps a little bit. We were actually, me, Okrakhan, XD Pulse, Spartacus Slayer, and Emerald Ice were actually all working on a small movie during the summer. Nothing really ever got done on it, but basically one of the sets was the Void, and we were trying to make a Void sort of thing by turning down the gamma, like the brightness in here. And since the Void kind of has that mystical, ominous look to it, we just like got rid. Well, we basically turned on the gamma to the point where you couldn't see the walls. Things that were orange had more of like a reddish tint to it, and since we were using Okrakhan, because since we don't have the Red Knight unlocked, and the Red Knight is one of our enemies, that's pretty cool. We had to we could easily get away with it if we turned on the gamma. Like basically in any of those situations where we needed it, unless we unlocked it by purchasing it for purchasing Skin Pack 2 for like $3. Don't know how many pounds that is, diffusion. If you could tell me later. But yeah. Very, very weird, but we've only really done one scene, and it was that bedrock one. All right, to Endarria Castle. We're only 10 minutes in the stream, and I've already gotten carried away. So, yeah, this place. If you haven't watched the other stream, definitely do that because at the very end I talked about this place and that it's the castle of the made up country that we know as Endarria, which used to be my second channel, Kingdom of Endarria, but I changed it to EndarriaCraft. So now we have the official EndarriaCraft channel to match this world. And by the way, for most people, this is just a bit of education. For most people, if your oldest world is sometimes a world you don't really work on, at least work on it, because you've had that thing the longest. Like this was actually created by Okapikan, and I'm actually using his account to actually be in here. He created this world, like I said, February 14th, 2015, which may not seem old at all, but really, that being in the dark ages of Minecraft, that really did, that was something. To start playing, like, right when Notch sold Microsoft to, I mean, Notch sold Mojang to Microsoft in 2015, that's when nothing happened. And I mean nothing. And really, did he get out? No. So, yeah, there's also the towns area. Said, what? Oh, okay. Hello. And this is, I believe, one of the cottages. If I'm not mistaken. I don't think this is the one that Emerald Ice used with Spartacus Slayer. Because that was here. I think so. Yeah, it was. And this is just a cool well that's here. And I think this place is pretty much a nice biome. I had to have a glowstone in the end so that the water wouldn't freeze. And it actually looks pretty cool. It looks like there's some sort of magic to it. I like magic. Magic is cool. Anyway, onwards to the castle. Oh, by the way, how's this doing? They're doing pretty good. We'll just help them. We'll just do this. We need to be able to have boats coming through, because otherwise there's no other way for anything to get through. Like at all. And then they just get off here. So yeah. And we just come in here because we're cool, we own the place. We come here to one of the other sets. Basically, this entire castle was built for the movie. This was built for that mini summer project that me and the rest of the EndarriaCraft had been working on. Which, like I said, we didn't even get to start filming here. And it was actually, I don't know why, probably because we weren't able to actually have them come over and start filming, because we do not have Xbox Live. and that's something you really need if you want to get to multiple shots without having split screen. Hello, Shopkeep, for the main thing. The Festival of Fun, which was another scene we never got to work on. This was actually cotton candy potions. So basically, you get the plain cotton candy, and then you pour the potions in there, and it's kind of like snow cones with the actual juice itself and the ice. But except it's basically flavorless, like styrofoam magic, and then you put the flavor in there. And it actually seems like a good idea, especially because we've got ourselves. No, wait, what? Our currency is, of course, the almighty golden nugget. Yee. So actually, I'm gonna do the rest of this in daytime because it works well. So, do you know when they have those carnivals where they always have the photo booth? Well, this is basically that, except it's the sketch booth because they didn't have photography in the 1500s because that's not how technology advanced exactly. So this is basically a walkway around the fun fact about this place. It's a raised cemetery. This used to be a hill, and this area was dug out. Like, just this small area was dug out and was made for the walkway. Now, basically, this hill is the last remaining part of this natural area. The only other natural part is this peninsula right here that just jets out. We have no other use for it. That's basically it for out here, I think, except for that this is actually the grave of Igil Clown, I believe. No, not Igil. No, it was Igil the Seventh, I think. He's basically my father if I was like royalty. Yeah, this is where he was buried. It was at the top here because all of these were the kings, queens, lords, dukes, and houses. Very, it's a lot of them. That's like at least 1,000 years of history contained in that one hilltop. Now this is the dock. Normally, there would be like a port city in the capital of like an important royal kingdom or empire in this case. But no, it's all shipped right here straight to the castle, which is very very unique considering how we deal with our stuff. And there's also, you can see right right there. I can't go all the way, but like it's the mushroom biome. Yeah. Next is the inside. Yes, we're done with the outside. Now you start off thinking this is going to be several floors, but it's not. It's like one entire thing where it's just a big hall, long tall hallway, well, main area where you've got a big chandelier. I'll actually show you this thing. It's pretty cool. It's complex. Sometimes I don't even know. But I like it. It looks good, especially if you look up. Yep. And that appears to be an orchid. The Providence, actually, that we're in right now, orchid. These chests were open at one point. Don't know there. Now this we'll get into in a little bit. First I want to go up here to the dining area. You can see a little bit more of this place. Um, that place is pretty cool. It's meant to look. It looks a lot better. You can see the cemetery up there, and you can see Mount History Craft and the Great O, and the airplane, and a bit of the city. If you look a little more, it's very cool. But this place actually looks a lot better at night, especially because Mount History Craft lights up. But because this fire, it like gives it a lot of light, and there's also the chandelier, which you can actually get trapped in. It's pretty cool. So this is meant to look like chicken, and these are just all seats. It was pretty funny. We actually got this cool design that's pretty much impossible, but since we break rules anyway, what the heck? Besides, it brings in a draft of the plague. Good stuff. We can actually come here down. This carpet design, I really like it because it's very abstract. And you don't know that I like abstract, but now you do. And now we go to this very narrow staircase that a lot of people don't like. This window system is actually pretty cool. This is a balcony where sometimes the king would be like, "Well, I declared something to happen," and he looks up from here, and he looks pretty cool while he's doing it. So yeah, that's pretty much that area. Except that, apart from this being really cool and that they're being like fireplace, there's watchtowers up here, which you have no access to. There's no access to this place at all, whatsoever. Looks better at night, actually. This is only here as like a hidden Easter egg that you can find, but only if you're on this place at any given moment. But it's pretty cool because since you have no access to it, it's like a challenge to even get up here. In fact, I don't even think you can get up here unless you're like really, really, really good at throwing ender pearls and like defying the laws of this game and the way its code works. But yeah. And we'll go back down here to this little cute bridge. It's plain simple bridge. And then we go up here to what originally was the big box. This area is like where some of the storage is, you know the deal. I think this was like one of the servants' quarters. This is just some more storage. If you know. And we're gonna go up here and shut that door. And this is like the living quarters where the people live. We start here. There's a lot of empty rooms. Here's the first empty room. It kind of gets you a little dizzy because you got to wrap around, and then you go upstairs again. Now this, afterwards, after Emerald Essence Spartacus Slayer were out of the cottage, we actually moved them to this room. This was going to be another set, but we just ended up not doing it. And I haven't worked on that darn script in over 8 months. I am not productive. But this place, it kind of makes sense though, because it's like this is the only room that they're gonna film in the living quarters. except for maybe the king's quarters up here, all the way on the top. Now the king, he for some reason he just really loves cacti and orchids. Of course, the most expensive flower, and it's the national plant flower of the empire. It's outrageously expensive. Like I don't think common people would be able to afford it. And this guy, he also was a big fan of Shakespeare, and I respect him for it. Now we go all the way down, because then we go to down the stairs, go back to that maid's area we read earlier. Oh yeah, close that way. And here we are actually this little water area, this was actually dug out. So it gives it the impression that this is on an island. But there's also fun fact about the prison island. It's not actually a real island. I had an idea, and I just started building an island, since this bridge basically went out to like just a square platform in the middle of the bay. And what I did with that is I just built this tower, just a box, built the island part, and then I went extremely crazy with the details. I love the details so much. This thing might actually be one of my favorite parts of the entire castle. Just because of the way it looks. It's just so aesthetically pleasing. We also go here to this cool bridge, which goes to the bottom. And this is just like a storage area. It's a little trapped area where if we were to play hide and seek, probably go up there. And it's basically just storage, except for up here, which is where we take all the witches and heretics and we burn them at the stake, even though we would totally do it at the town square, but there's no room. Actually, there's room. We just do it up here. And yeah. And now we're going to go the opposite side. Since this place is pretty much disguised as storage, it's not. We have this super cramped prison area. Like super cramped. 3 levels, and the most criminally insane go to the bottom. And this place took absolutely forever to get rid of water, because it's basically, like I said earlier, this place is just in a suspended island, and I couldn't use sponges because it filled up too much. And actually, sponges was the way, because this area where the town was actually, it's all just water underneath. And I just built it up from here. I just used sponges like crazy. I wouldn't stop placing down the sponges, and filled it up and built it. Built all the stuff there. Just want to let you know about that before I forget. And this place wasn't using sponges. I just filled each individual layer with a block. Got rid of that. Went to the next layer below it. Got that. Rinse and repeat until the entire area underwater was completely just dried up. It took me forever, but I gotta say, I like it. I like how it turned out. And that's pretty much it says pretty much Endarria Castle. Yeah. So if you have any suggestions for what you want me to like build on here, leave your answers in the comments below, and I might do it. Well, this is just a conclusion. There it is. That's cool. Now at this point, I don't know what to do. But there's also Urgwood Pecan, who's the first king of the House of Wood Pecan of Endarria. This is his tomb. He actually was an architect to build this before he died in 1063. And to this day, the body of him and his wife were buried here until about 150 years ago, when it was originally. No, I want to seal this up. We respect him, and we actually took him, his body, not his wife, just him, to the museum where he's been in an updated crowd chamber, along with Iju Clan, which no one really figured out how exactly his burial was, but like whatever, no matter what, we found him. Iju first at least, and these signs need to be updated because we realized that both of them were actually born 10 years before, earlier than what we thought. So that's where we actually got wrong. And these are airtight, so you can't break in them. If you do, first you're gonna get arrested. And second, all the diamond and gold in there, which is basically their entire fortune, was actually turned into this thing. And it will all actually just corrode because Minecraft gold is different than real life gold. Just wanted to let you know about that. And there was actually an end crystal explosion on the back here, which completely destroyed the wall going up there, which allowed me to take more artistic liberties with how this place looked. Which basically, it's the reenactment of the Treaty of Corsica in 1017, which united the houses of Clan and Wood Pecanan into the Empire of Endarria. There's a fictional history lesson for you right there. And also some of the rooftop areas that were blown up. I just replaced it with wood to show you the damage. And all I can say is that end crystal explosions, they're not something to really like look at and be like, oh wow, you think you're so tough? Wow, look at me. No, they're a force to be reckoned with. They blew up the entire back wall of this place. And mind you, this place has been here almost since the beginning. So you can kind of understand how serious a matter of such things like that is. And also, we also had this guy called Zach come over, and he helped me build a statue of me, which is his home. And all I did was just replace the back of my head and the front of my head with glass. Which is, I mean sure, I'll take it. I like it though. It's pretty cool. It brings up the inner me. At least I think so. There's also just like this house here, which has literally no purpose except to be like a green screen if we ever needed a green screen. We just did this. Sometimes we could do something like this, actually. If you look at the screen, okay, so basically what this is you position yourself in front of the camera like so. Sometimes if you want to get the green screen part in, you gotta get close to it. And basically, if you're just looking at the top screen, it's like this. It's all green for you guys. But really, it's not. Aren't you disappointed? Yeah, you're disappointed, right? I am too. Yeah. So basically, that's what this thing is. It records, and when you turn it off, you just flip the switch. And me and Okubakan are very good at this, and they're just basically the lights that activate daytime and nighttime. I know, right? So original. Actually worked pretty well. Considering that basically nothing. And this is a reservoir. It's not. This water wasn't here originally. I actually put it here because it would look nice with this area. Be like a bay type thing. And it's proven to be successful. This thing needed to get clearing out. There we go. This actually works pretty well. Now I need water. And the process will start almost immediately. See? Huh. There we go. Now this should work a bit. Hopefully, to clear up all the ice. So, should be fine about that. And actually, there used to be, this is like a power area, and it used to have like this really tall tower that went all the way up to the height limit. It was pretty cool because it was like an electric thing, and it was all powered by all these pistons and redstone blocks, and it lit up. It was pretty cool. But since we were temporarily filming for the EndarriaCraft movie, it was in the view of most of the shots, which are in diner over here in the town, it could be visible from this area. We didn't want that to happen, so we tore it down, and we realized that those are also there, but like anytime that they would be in view, we would be like facing down like this. Of course, if you look over there, you'd see a bunch of other stuff, but hey. And I think that excluding all the stuff that we did in the last video, that is pretty much it for the world. I mean, of course, we go over here to Oak Pecan's house. There is a very big, there's a map of the world, or at least the areas we've explored. There's a few areas that wouldn't load, but apart from that, it's pretty cool actually. You can see all the different things that have happened in the world. You can see, this is where we're located, right about here. This is the line of update, especially in this specific area. This was like a creepy area that's like we exist, and this is actually, what is that? I don't know. This is that's the Lighthouse Island. That is like Devil's Area, and this is where it gets confusing because we don't know what's what, because it's all kind of just together. I can't identify anything that's here specifically because it just looks like a bunch of meshes of the house we're in right now, and it's hard to try and see what it is if it looks like that. All I know is that the museum is right there. That's all I know, and that the heads of EndarriaCraft are about here, and Endarria Castle's here. 3 segments. Actually, that might be the boat. This is the Graveyard Hills, and this is the village. Yeah, and the rest of it's just undiscovered areas. Well, not undiscovered, just not built on. All I can say is that there are a couple of villages here. Like there's villages there. There's a village there. Villages here, there. It's pretty good trying to look for villages because we've been to so many areas here that we can just look and find some. And while filling out these maps, I've actually found the villages. That's why I know what they are. And really, that's all. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Peace.